Alright, this is Calibos, and we are playing Enigmatica 2. So I have now built the second thing, and this one is a resource controller versus the ore controller. So this one is theoretically setting us up with mica, which we now have 40 of. So I went ahead and changed this to a white lens to prefer mica, since that's really what we want out of it. I changed this to a black lens to prefer the aethium. We now have 41 aethium. So in order to make the tier 6, we're going to need, so that's 54 right there. And then we're going to need 2 per structure tier frame. So that's another 186. And then we need another 186 nether stars. So the nether stars are going to take a little while. And then after we do this, our next goal is to begin setting up this. So I will have to look up the resources to make one of these personal nano beacons. One of the things that, okay, so let me start over with that. So what the personal nano beacon does is it basically gives you a bunch of, ongoing enchantment effects or buffs wherever you are in the world, any world. So, for example, when I'm in the end fighting the dragon, I can have regeneration or stuff like that. So that is going to be important. Now, I've already got this flux capacitor resonant. Now, I vaguely recall that there's a creative one that we can build. I thought we could build it. Oh, that's going to be unfortunate. I'm really unhappy about the fact that we would have to fight the Chaos Guardian a number of times without something like flux plugs, because the Chaos Guardian, even in the Draconic armor, the highest tier Draconic armor, is going to annihilate the daylights out of us. So the other option is to make the nano armor, and we may have to do that. So the thing about the nano armor is it's really good armor. And then if we upgrade this to the quantum suit, the quantum suit stuff is not just really good armor. So if you have a quantum suit on and you would die, you just don't. And there are a great many things that should kill you but don't, like the kill command as typed by an admin. I have the understanding that the quantum armor stops that, which seems slightly broken. Now, this does not mean you should go and tick off your local admins and then dare them to kill you when you're wearing the quantum armor, because they can just ban you from a server, and I mean, that would be bad. At least it would be bad in my mind. Some of my armor just broke. So I do in fact have a fire charm on, which is why I'm not taking damage from the yep, so there goes my helmet. That's okay. That's why I'm not taking damage from the from the lava that I was walking through. I felt it necessary as many times as I ran into lava building these silly things. So let's go down to environmental tech. So we now have this, we can claim it. We now have this, we can claim it. So like I said, we're going to go through and do some of the solar array stuff. So I'm not sure how much power we have in the system, but we're currently holding even. But if we upgrade this again, it's going to go up because it's already drawing 5, which is the most of this particular block can put out. So we'll need a second one, at the very least. Then we're going to need to worry about Draconic. So as we get into Draconic, we're going to have to start making some really high-end stuff. Now, I'm probably going to throw down for the nano armor as well as the Draconic armor. Or the quantum armor as well as the Draconic armor. And we'll try the Draconic armor first, but when it kills me, I'm just going to switch to the nano armor. Or the quantum armor, rather. So we'll see what happens. I'm not very good at fighting the Chaos Guardian. That thing is silly fast. And it eats a lot of power from your armor. So without a creative or let's pop these. Without a way to oh, thankful dinner. Lacquer lotus. Yeah, without a way to constantly recharge the armor, and I'm telling you right now, the flux capacitors from Draconic are simply not enough. Yeah, they'll take maybe a couple of hits from the Chaos Guardian, and fewer than that if you're actually using the like the Draconic tools upgraded to kill it rather rapidly. And since we're going to basically be needing to make these, and there's no way to like craft these, we'll just have to go kill them. And we're going to have to kill the Chaos Guardian a few times. And depending on where they're located, the Chaos Guardian is actually a super pain in the butt. Now, we are going to get to the point where killing the End Dragon is going to be like a few hits. We're talking like 3 or 4. So that's not going to be a big deal. Somebody shot at me. I'm not sure I care. So let's chunk load this. We'll make sure it's chunk loaded. So that this is going to keep processing, because we really need this mica to happen. What are we doing on mica? What are we doing on Aethium? So we're up to 57. So at this point, we can now upgrade one of the controllers. How lucky is that? Alright, so let's get to... Let's see, what's in this one? Cows. There's a couple of cows in there. So That's got cows. That's got some crafty things. That's got that. So I'm not actually sure that I need this anymore, so let's wreck this one. I mean, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, we were making these. Anybody remember us making these? So let's take a quick minute to look at the rainbow generator. What do we need for the rainbow generator? So we need to make this, we need to make this. Rainbow generator. Okay, let's go out over here. So the rainbow generator. So we'll make 4 of these. Which means we're going to need a couple of these. Ooh, do we not have apples? How do we not have apples? That doesn't seem right somehow. I'm sure that there's a million apples out here. Wow. Give us the apples. Weird. So, let's make the core rainbow generator. Right. I think we need 2 more apples. Or that. So that gives us those. And then we want a couple of these. And then we want that. So now all we need is the Draconic Flux Capacitor, which is made from the Wyvern Flux Capacitor. So let's do... How many nether stars do we have? 48. Let's go ahead and make another 200. So we need soul sand. Did we not teach you how to make soul sand? I'm sure we can make soul sand. Chuck that in there. So let's try to make some nether stars. We want to make 200. Go. So that's going to take a hot minute. So we'll wait. In fact, I have no idea how long that's going to take. But our next step is to make recipes for Draconic. So let's look in the craft book for Draconic stuff. We're going to start grinding through it. Draconic Evolution. So I have this one. We need to make a dislocator. Is this used in any recipes? bound dislocator, item dislocator, advanced. Okay, so it's not really used in enough recipes that I care. So let's make an eye vendor. Okay, so blaze. Eye vendor, because these are basic ones that you should definitely know how to make. Dislocator requires, yeah, so we should just be able to chuck this in here. And that is simply so I don't have to craft the individual components. How lazy am I? So we'll make one of these. That gives us the dislocator. Now we're going to need the item dislocator and potentiometer. So I think we need to bind this before it takes it. There's a distinct lack of quest happening. Hello? Okay, so that's fun. Okay, I will edit that later to fix it. So let's make one of these, and oh, is this a? This can't be a crafting quest, can it? It is. It wants us to actually make it. So let's make the different parts. So we need blaze. So we need an eye vendor. Now, just as a heads up, some of the crafting stuff doesn't. Some of the crafting quests. Uh-oh. Hello. Some of the crafting quests do not like AE, so I may actually have to go make this one in a vanilla crafting table. So let's get the blaze again. Let's get some draconium. Dislocator. Okay, there it goes. That was annoying. Now we have a couple of these silly things. Nickel. Toss that in there. So next up, we're going to need to make a dislocator pedestal. Let's check if this is a crafting quest. It's a retrieval quest. Alright. So this is not going to be super challenging. Dislocator pedestal. We'll put that there. It's very attractive. Enjoy. Ta-da! So what we can do with these is if we really wanted to, we could place them around everywhere and put signs on them. So we could go back and forth by right-clicking on the pedestal, and as it says, it doesn't lose any charges. So we've got the pedestal done. So let's grab this. Oh, TNT. It's dynamite. Okay, next step, we're going to make a, let's chuck some of this in. And you'll notice that all of my stuff recharged here, but it doesn't recharge in the cavern because I didn't make a thing there. So let's make a dislocator, one of these. And that gives us this quest. It is a magnet. Bottle of enchanting. I think that I actually had a quest for that later. So now we can turn this off and use this. Now it's on. Can go in a bobble slot and it will always work. Ta-da! So, next quest. And if you care, it's a magnet. It just pulls stuff towards you. Does it say at the cost of XP? Oh, no. It drags XP. Alright. So, let's make a potentiometer. I know. First you have to be able to spell it. So what this does is you can give a signal. So you can set up a particular signal with this. And that can be useful for a lot of vanilla and or other complicated redstone arrangements, maybe even simple ones if you are smart enough. Okay. I have used it in combination. Let's make one of these. Okay, that's crazy talk. Ooh, do we not have draconium ingots? We'll make 100. I'm sure it'll be fine. So we're making a dislocator again. So the reason we don't have the draconium auto smelting is there are actually quite a few draconium related recipes, draconic evolution recipes, that do not require, that actually specifically require the ground stuff. So I'd rather cook it on demand since our cooking is fairly quick. There we go. So this is actually important and we're going to go place it right now. So if you've ever done anything in Britannia, there is a flower in Britannia. I'm hoping there's a flower in Britannia that well, you have a ring of magnetization in Britannia, which pulls things towards you, much like the magnet that we are now carrying around does. And then there's a flower in Britannia that you can plant near, like, some of your arrangements where you have a lot of in-world crafting to keep those items from, like, randomly flying towards you and ruining your crafting. Super handy. I feel like we haven't really gotten enough done. I mean, I guess technically we have. We've done this. So let's make a draconium core, and then we'll call it. So we'll make one of these, and we are going to make 1,000,000 of these. So I am really inclined to have the recipe in the system. So we're also probably going to make 1,000,000 of these, and we want that recipe in the system too. We're going to get to a point where, yeah, it's nether stars, but we're just going to be like pouring nether stars out like water. So this is going to require awakened draconium. So this is where we get into the nonsense of, you know, silly crafting and draconic hearts. Like, I don't know if I'm going to, but we may have to set up an auto end dragon killer, and that will be annoying. I've done it before, but yeah. So if you look at the bottom, this is the energy cost to make 4 blocks of awakened draconium. And I'm here to tell you we're going to be using a lot of awakened draconium. So it's 350 million RF, you know, for the single conversion. So this is why I want to set up better power transfer and better power generation, because our generator is simply not up to the task. I mean, I think it produces 26 or 28,000 RF a tick. So just think about 26,000 compared to 350 million. So our current storage is 48 million RF. So one crafting will simply wipe out all of our power and then shut everything down for a while it finishes the crafting. So we need to up our power game significantly. We're talking hundreds of thousands of RF a tick, and it's not going to be able to happen in one of these. This is going to be an in material world bit. So we're just, yeah, it's going to be exciting. We've got this. Hopefully we have this. But this seems like a good place to call it. We've got some setups for a couple of things. We can now auto-craft these. And we can now auto-craft these. So we need a couple more. Let's just make 4 more. There we go. So that gives us our draconium core. So that gives us this. And you can see that there's a lot of interdependencies and crafting and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Anyway, I'm glad you guys showed up. So if you like the episode, leave a like. If you don't. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. You're awesome. Have a good night.